This is Kenmat. Kenmat.
Hello everyone. In today's video, we'll be talking about expanding double brackets. Now, expanding double brackets or multiplying double brackets is usually called quadratic expansion. Let's quickly look at these questions. So I have here expand these expressions. Let's look at question 1, which is A. So in my first bracket, I have m plus 5, and in my second bracket, I have m plus 1. So I'll write this out again. I have m plus 5 and m plus 1. So I'm going to use two ways to solve this. I know there are other ways where you can use to solve this, but I'll be using two today. Step 1, multiply out the two brackets by multiplying the first bracket by everything in the second bracket. So I have m times m, which gives me m squared, and I have m times 1, which gives me m. Don't forget the 1 here is positive. Step 2, multiply the 5 by everything in the second bracket. So I have positive 5 times m, which gives me positive 5m, and then plus 5 times plus 1, which gives me plus 5. When you're done, you simplify this. So I have m squared, m plus 5m gives me 6m, and then plus 5. Now the second way to do this is something we call the box method. So where you have your box. So you have the first bracket here, which is m and then plus 5. And then you have the second bracket, the things in the second bracket, you have m and then plus 1. Now you can choose to write m plus 1 at the top here horizontally, and then the m plus 5 vertically. It doesn't matter where you put them. So we have m times m, which gives me m squared, then m times 5, which gives me, plus 5m. Then we have 1 times 5, which gives me plus m. And then we have 1 times 5, which gives me plus 5. So to write this out, we have m squared plus 5m plus 1m plus 5. And our final answer gives us m squared plus 6m plus 5. So if you notice, I have the same answer as this. Now let's move on to B. Same thing. You can choose to go with the first way I used, or you can go on with the box method. It's either you're going for multiplying whatever is in the first bracket by everything in the second bracket, or like I said, you're going for the box method. Right, so to do this, I will go in for the first method where I have y times y, that gives me y squared. Then y times positive 5, that gives me 5, positive 5y. Then I have minus 2 times y, that gives me minus 2y. And I have minus 2 times plus 5, that gives me minus 10, because negative times positive is negative. So let's simplify this. We have y squared plus 5 minus plus 5y minus 2y gives me plus 3y, and then minus 10. Likewise, if you are using the box method, we can have this. I'll just put this in the box. And then we have, I can put here y and then minus 2, then y plus 5. So y times y is y squared. Then y times positive 5 or plus 5 is plus 5y. Then minus 2 times y is minus 2y, and then minus 2 times plus 5 gives me minus 10. So write out whatever everything you see in the box. I have y squared plus 5y minus 2y minus what, 10, which gives me y squared plus 3y minus 10. So if you notice, I have the same answer as this. So it doesn't matter the method you go in for, we will all arrive at the same answer. Let's look at the C. I have x times x, which is x squared, and then x times minus 3, which gives me minus 3x. Then 4 times x, which gives me plus 4x. And then 4 plus 4 times minus 3, which gives me minus 12. Don't forget, positive times negative is always negative. So to simplify this, I have x squared plus x minus 12. Let's look at the last one here. So I have x times x, which gives me x squared. Then x times minus 6, which gives minus 6x. Then I have minus 6 times x, which gives me minus 6x. And then this time I have minus here and minus here. So we have negative times negative is positive. Then 6 times 6 is 36. So to simplify this, I have x squared minus 12x plus 36. Right, now let's move on to a much more complex expression. All right, so to multiply these complex expressions, it's just the same thing as what we did previously, where you multiply whatever is in the first bracket by the second bracket, or you use a box method. I will do that now for you to see. So same thing, 2x times 3x, sorry, 2t times 3t gives me 6t squared. Then I have 2t times 1, that gives me plus 2t. Then 3 times 3t gives me 9t. And then 3 times 1 is 3. So to simplify this, we have 6t squared plus 2t and 9t gives me 11t, and then plus 3. We can also use the box method here where we have this. So I'll just do this. I have 2t plus 3. Sorry. 2t plus 3. And I have 3t plus 1. So 3t times 2t gives me 6t squared, because 3 times 2 is 6 and a t times t is t squared. Then 3t times 3 gives me 9t. And then 1 times 2t gives me 2t. And then 1 times 3 gives me 3. Now to write this out, I have 6t squared, add the next thing is 9t, then add 2t, and then add 3. To simplify this, I have 6t squared plus 11t plus 3. So if you notice, we're having the same answers here. So you can just go in for any method you want. Now you can pause the video and then do the rest of the questions. Right, now let's move on to the B. So I have 4x times 3x gives me 12x squared, because 4 times 3 is 12 and x times x is x squared. Then 4 times minus 5 is minus 20x. Now, minus 1 times 3x gives me minus 3x. Now, don't forget this is a negative and that's positive. The 1 is a negative, the 3 is positive. Negative times positive is always negative. Then I have minus 1 times minus 5 gives me plus 5 because negative times negative is positive. Now, to simplify this, I have 12x squared minus, now I have minus 20x minus 3x. So that gives me minus 23x. Add 5. So you can mark this, can compare it to your answer and then mark if you had it correct. Now let's look at expanding squares. Now expanding squares is just the same. Okay, so what we have here is we have x plus 3 squared. So expanding x plus 3 squared. Squared means twice of the bracket. So an example is this. If you have a squared means a times a. Okay, so to do this, x plus 3 squared, sorry, x plus 3 all brackets squared means x plus 3 and another x plus 3. So to do this, it's either using the box method or you can just go x times x, which gives me x squared, and then x times 3, which gives me plus 3x, then another x, sorry, 3 times x, that gives me 3x, and then 3 times 3, that gives me 9. So to simplify this, I have x squared plus 6x plus 9. Now let's look at this. What if we have a minus in between the expression? So it's the same procedure. 3x minus 2 in one bracket can be written as 3x minus 2 and another 3x minus 2. Now the reason why we have in two brackets is because of the square. To expand this, we have 3x times 3x, that gives me 9x squared. Then I have 3x times minus 2, that gives me minus 6x. Then same thing, we have minus 2 times 3x gives me minus 6x. And then minus 2 times minus 2 gives me plus 4. To simplify this, I have 9x squared minus 12x plus 4. Right. So this brings us to the end of today's lesson. And don't forget, there are different ways to do this. Okay, so you can choose whichever way you want to do. I have spoken about two of the ways, which is multiplying the first bracket by the second bracket, and also you going in for the box method. If you have any questions about this, you can just put that in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. It's bye for now.
Chem Max.